How many times have we been overcome by the thought of leaving home and never returning? How many times have we felt inadequate to the demands of the world? How many times have we wanted to erase the traces of our failures? Reality is always asking us questions, always asking us to make choices. And through our choices, we come out as we are. It is a task from which we cannot escape. It is precisely from this unavoidable call to manifest who we are that the desire to escape arises, which crosses our lives from time to time. Listening to people recounting their exhausting experiences, the feeling that emerges from their words is a deep desire to escape. However, the questions that reality poses to us, no matter how uncomfortable they are, help us in the construction of our true profile. Not the fake one that we or inevitably display on our social media. Not the one we build only with our smiling pictures after a visit to the hairdresser or after forcing our grandmother to hug us so that we can post a photo for an effect. But the authentic one, the one we build with our authentic resources and with our failures, with our successes, and with our doubts. John the Baptist, as presented in today's Gospel, is the man who is not afraid to be challenged by reality and to be seen for what he is. He acknowledges his limitations. I am not. Admits that he is not the protagonist. I am the voice of the one crying out. Confesses his depends on another. I'm not worthy to untie his sandal strap. Look, in the face of the galloping narcissism of our times, in which we must necessarily be the center of attention, in a culture of protagonism, in which we are only worthy if we are at the top of the pyramid, John the Baptist presents himself as the anti-narcissist, the one who can recognize the difference between himself and others, the one who can recognize his own role in service to another. He is not the light, but the witness of the light. He is not the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom. He is not the word, but the voice of the word. John the Baptist finds his own identity in the service of others so that someone else can fulfill his role. A far cry from a culture like ours that is tired of protagonism. In the cave, Polyphemus asks Odysseus, "Who are you?" In this classic moment from Homer's Odyssey, Polyphemus, the Cyclops, asks Odysseus who he is, and Odysseus wisely replies, "Nobody." Later, when Odysseus and his men blind Polyphemus and escape, the Cyclops calls for help, saying that nobody is hurting him. The other Cyclops think he is in no danger because he mentioned nobody, and allow Odysseus and his crew to escape from the cave. You, who are you? This crucial question is also addressed to us. And the answer lies in stripping our identity from appearances and illusions, from masks and fears. It does not matter what we have accumulated, it matters what we have dropped in order to return to the essential, to be one with God. It is clear to see how John finds the meaning of his life in Jesus Himself, in His waiting for Him, in His preparation to receive Him. From Him, we are called to learn the radicality of commitment in preparing to meet the Lord, never wanting to make ourselves or others the lords of our lives. And it is precisely in this way that he succeeds in initiating a cultural revolution. Yet we continue to tame within our certainties. We struggle to maintain a false profile that requires constant, laborious, and artificial maintenance. We bend in our own image, not allowing God to make our life a word of hope for others. Test everything, retain what is good, St. Paul exhorts us. The challenge ahead of us is to accept our authenticity, to examine everything in our existence, and to hold on to what is good. For this reason, the joy that this third Sunday of Advent proposes to us is not to be sought in occasional escapes or extraordinary moments, but in continuing to find joy in the little everyday things. In this way, we allow God to make our lives a witness of hope for others, facing reality with gratitude and joy, even in seemingly difficult situations.